Hello! Weird music, be quiet. Fun fact, that last track was what plays when Simon gets slapped through the chest by an icicle. Hello! Hello. And hello. That's 3. That's the requisite number of hellos. There, I have things on my desk. Always well prepared. He died, he did, yes. Sad, really. Is it though? Hello, Kiro! Hello, Chib. Thank you for the sticker earlier. Is it though? Oh dear. Where's my pen? I haven't drawn anything today, so... Been an admin day. Sorting out paperwork and numbers and all these sorts of things. So yeah, expect fantastic artworks. This piece of music is just a laugh. Yeah. Welcome to Stram. I hope everybody's having a good start to the week. I'm a bit thirsty, my apologies. You're very attached to the main character? Definitely. No, the main character's name is Simon. Yeah. So, it's been a couple of weeks. Sorry about that. But, you know, it was the end of disc 1. It was a nice big old finale. Let's do a quick recap. What happened last time? How do we go to the thing? There it is. Where's the what's it? There it is. Get lamp. ... That stabbing is one of the few things you remember pretty clearly from the game, that whole event. It's a good cliffhanger. We'll see how well it resolves, shall we? Okay, so Hawkeye. So, what happened last time? Last time we were engaged to assassinate the sorceress TM. Did she have a name other than Sorceress TM? Sorry, microphone's going to make noises. My apologies. There we go. Maybe her name was just TM. Might be TM, who knows? If TM was her name, okay, fair enough. So we were engaged in the assassination attempt to assassinate the sorceress, headed by this fellow here. This is General... What's his name? What's Cheery's last name? It's Cheery's dad, anyway. Oh, the parentheses were part of her name. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so the plan was, well, let's demonstrate the plan. The plan was, here's a big old gate. There's going to be a parade involving the sorceress. We were going to trap her float inside this gate. We're going to have some people up in here operating the controls to the gate, and then over the other side, on top of the building, Jesse McCree? Jesse McCree? Oh, Jen Errol, that was it, yes. General Jen Errol. So does that mean Cheery is Cheery Errol? Oh, that's a perfectly acceptable last name. Yeah, on the other side there's going to be a sniper, and the sniper's going to take out, that sniper being Jesse McCree, is going to take out the sorceress. And that's the plan, relatively straightforward. Prior to this happening, we return back to the mansion. Cheery comes back, because she's not a soldier, she's just somebody we picked up along the way. And she says that she's got a plan, because she has this mangle bangle, which apparently is a magical thing, and it's going to nullify magical effects. And she's going to go up to the sorceress, convince her to wear it, and then she won't be able to use magic anymore. Velma, for once, correctly chastises her for what is a terrible plan. And they part ways in a sulk. Cheery thinks, no, I think my plan was pretty good. The dad pops in and says, okay, I'm going to lock you in here because things are going to get dangerous this evening, so I'm going to lock you in this room on a timed lock system. Cheery, however, runs away. This group come back from their post in the assassination attempt to apologise for hurting Cheery's feelings, because Velma's just is Velma. And they get themselves locked in the room. Luckily, there's a secret bookcase thing that leads to the sewers. They can get out through the sewers and get back to where they were. It's just more gameplay. Why not? The timed lock of convenience. I still don't quite understand what that was all about, but there we are. Meanwhile, Cheery's gone off for her mangle bangle plan, and as you can see, it worked out very well. The sorceress just possessed the bangle and threw her around for a bit, and then possessed her. The sorceress then demonstrated her abilities to walk through doors, like that, special effects. And then gave a speech to the city, during which she killed the President Jimson. So yeah, he's got thrown off somewhere. And animated a couple of gargoyle lizard statues to attack Cheery as a kind of, you know, a grand finale. So we fought those and we got ourselves a new little Pokemon friend. I can't remember what we called them. Everyone has a door to the sewers in their house. Hitman proved it. Oh yeah. That's at the bottom of the apartment complex. Yeah, good work. Yeah, so we got some friends. Well, we got a friend having fought two other friends. And by we I mean this was Simon and Jesse McCree, because they had to go into that building to get to the top of it to set up for the sniper position. Fortunately, they had to go there. If they didn't, Cheery would be dead. Quick, can we make a tally? Quick tally. Fortunately, this happened. Otherwise, Cheery would be dead. Tally. I want to start that. It's technically 2 because of the whole president on the train thing. She probably would have died there as well. You see Lamp. Lamp is still there. Yes. Hello, Dark. How you doing? So yeah, then we set ourselves up for the sniper mission, at which point Jesse McCree, the otherwise cocky Jack the Lad sort of character, decides to have a crisis of confidence and believes he can't actually do the job. Simon gives him a pep talk in the form of, it really doesn't matter whether you hit or miss, we're going to do this anyway. And so McCree has a go at it, and he would have hit were it not for the fact that the sorceress is magic. Who'd have thought? She has magic that can stop a bullet. So Simon's recourse to this is to jump off the building into a car, drive to the gate, jump off, and then attack the sorceress. Turns out Kyle's there. He's not dead. He now believes he's fulfilling his life's ambitions to become the sorceress's knight. Something we have literally never heard before. There's a bit of brainwashing going on. Kind of. We'll get into that. And we have a fight. We have a fight with Kyle, and we have a fight with TM, and the fight with TM goes just about as well as you might expect, because it does involve icicles through the chest, like that, and then Simon dies. A bit fond of the animation. Like that. To be fair, there were 3, I think. How many actually, a couple might have hit Simon. There might have been a couple gone through the chest. Either way, he's dead. Okay? So obviously we need to move on to our secondary protagonist, because our protagonist is dead. Right. Oh dear, I've got to draw something now. I haven't drawn anything today. Admin days are great right up until I have to do a draw through. Okay, let's grab some bits and bobs and get some settings ready. Why not? Let's do it. Yeah. Right, so we return to the action on a mattress on the floor in a room full of bullet holes. What's perspective? I've heard of it, but I'm not entirely sure what it is. So yeah, how's everybody's week starting, going? How does? So that's perspective. Don't worry about it, it's fine. There's a tall mattress. Yeah, this building is a bit worse for wear. They're just bullet holes in the walls. There's the wallpaper peeling off. Hey, it's Pinches and Patches' theme. That sounds like rubbing a magic lamp would have been a good idea. Maybe. But you chose not to. Oh well, one day the lamp will be rubbed. Probably during the final boss fight, knowing you lot. This is a broken old window. Not going to rub the lamp. Fair enough. Right, and who do we see on the mattress? Why, it's our protagonist. A lamp. You love a lamp. You can rub it. You can rub whatever you love, so long as they consent. You're very confused when you played this part. You mean you were fine up till now? No, this piece of music gets struck. For some reason. I think anything dwelling in said lamp would love said lamp rubbing with no ill consequences at all. We should ignore the how about you save before you do this message one gets when you... Yes, that is I forgot about that. That does happen. You are warned to save prior to the rubbing of the lamp. But nonetheless... Not suspicious. There's no suspicion here whatsoever. Look, this was given to us by our commanding officer, Headmaster Fly. There is absolutely no circumstance under which it could possibly be dangerous. I'm trying to remember the order in which things happen here. Not particularly important, I don't think, but... You say we don't? You don't trust it? Didn't say we have to trust it. True. Look, there's only 3 of you in chat, I think, at the moment. You're more than welcome to have a vote. Although I do have to draw the consequences. So bear that in mind. Point of a mysterious MacGuffin if one doesn't use it. But about what, the lamp? Yeah, Dark has a hankering to rub the lamp. You don't have to. This is... You vote absolutely not? Well, that's 1 for yes and 1 for no. That's how legs work, right? Okay, it's going up a little. It's fine. You won't know because you're naturally distrusting of dark. That's fair. That's the point. Can you? I guess not. Interesting. Anyway, actually, I'm gonna check that. This is just an aside for my own personal satisfaction. Oh no, you can't. Cool. That makes sense. Anyway, back to the thing. So, Jimmy wakes up on the bed. To the sound of a small child's voice. Small child. I tend to just draw mini beef, to be honest. It's not too dissimilar. Small children have big eyes. That's how that works, yeah. Looks like a bow in her hair or something. Maybe. That's how you know it's a young girl, because there's a bow in the hair. That's classic artistic shorthand. All children are mini beef, it's been known. Dark, you got some surprises coming your way. Anyway. So yeah, there's a yeah, it's fine. I'll try harder. So yeah, there's a little child at the thing. And Jimmy is very excited to see the little child who he calls Dishy? Let's say Dishy, why not? And Dishy has apparently come from the pub next door. And she's come to tell him that somebody has arrived who apparently knows Jimmy. And that they want to see him. So she's come over. It's very dangerous outside, so she's very brave for coming over. It's literally next door, but you know there's lots of monsters around. There's like flying bugs and big caterpillars and stuff. And she can remember what the lamp actually does. This is what happens when you only played the game once 20 years ago and probably didn't even do anything back then. That's fair. Not a Dark expecting a child. Look, I mean, I don't know what's going on in Dark's personal life. I'm not gonna... What a weird way to break it, though. Is it a boy? Is it a girl? It's a mini beef. So yeah, so Jimmy turns out very good with kids. There's a very playful spirit of like, oh, you're really brave for coming along here. Oh, I'll tell you what, I'll cover the courtyard so that you can make it back to the pub safely and all that sort of stuff. Mini beef reveal, that'll shock the doctors, wouldn't it? So yeah, he helps Dishy back to the pub next door, where they find somebody I now have to draw. Here's a pub. Pub bar. It's probably also full of bullet holes. This town's not doing well. Hello! Oh, is that a groove? Is that a groove? It is a groove. Hello. Hello, Animus. Willkommen to das Strem. What have you missed? So far, Jimmy woke up on a mattress, and there's a little girl called Dishy. And she's just got him because somebody apparently has arrived at the pub who knows him. Twitch finally let you join Strem. Ah, no, horrible Twitch. Well, not horrible Twitch for letting you join, but horrible Twitch for not letting you join sooner. Heard something about Dark having a child? Yeah, Dark's having a mini beef. We have all sent our condolences. But that is what you get if you rub the lamp. Well, the lamp in the top right, which we have had since we left the space potato. That lamp, yeah. The magic lamp. The lamp that I forgot, but was reminded that if you go to rub it, it says, might want to consider saving before doing this. So, you don't remember what it does? I have not mentioned what it does, because the game does not tell you what it does until you rub it. It was given to you by our headmaster, and that's all you know. Ah, the scaling triangle. So yeah. Anywho, back to Waltorn Village. Yeah, we make our way to the pub, where we see a couple of people. Firstly, we see an lady. She has a headband, if I remember correctly. Again, I have not drawn anything today. This lady chastises Dishy for leaving the pub because it's dangerous outside. There are caterpillars. We should wait until we have a full battle party before rubbing it, just in case. Well, at the moment, your main character's also died, so you're already died, so you're down one person. That's how headbands work, right? How's your week started, miss? Been going well? You got your stickers? Hopefully you enjoy them, being twice as big than they were supposed to be. Of spreading scandal of you having a child. You're not having a child, you're having a mini beef. I have no idea what she's wearing. So I'm gonna say she's wearing a sweater with a shirt underneath. Why did I say sweater? Jumper! I'm British. I'd say sweater. Probably rolled up, she's doing some cleaning. She's the one who's got to do all the bloody work around here. I think she has earrings as well. Don't know what makes me think that. Probably that she has earrings. Of all the things to make me think that she has earrings, her having earrings is probably quite high up on the list. Yeah, 3 mini beefs. No, I was trying to come up with a pun there. That's not going to work. Yeah. So yes, Bar Lady is here, and she chastises Dishy for going outside when it's dangerous. She should have called her over, and then they could have gone over together. Would have been more safe. There's a bar. Do you want to see how I do the one that is different as mini beef? Oh, I could pull that off. Don't worry about that. 3 mini beef sounds like a half decent barbecue to you. It's almost a whole beef. Actually, can I just as a complete aside, I want to read to you the opening of a story. It's just made me laugh. This is Edgar Allan Poe. You know, person who wrote classic horror stories and all that sort of stuff. I just want to just the opening paragraph of this because it's so un-Poe. This is also out of copyright, so I can do this. This is Some Words with a Mummy. I haven't actually finished reading the story yet. It's only a short story. The symposium of the preceding evening had been a little too much for my nerves. I had a wretched headache and was desperately drowsy. Instead of going out, therefore, to spend the evening as I'd proposed, it occurred to me that I could do no wiser thing than just eat a mouthful of supper and go immediately to bed. A light supper, of course. I'm exceedingly fond of Welsh rabbit. More than a pound at once, however, may not at all times be advisable. Still, there can be no material objection to 2, can there? And really, between 2 and 3, there's merely a single unit of difference. I ventured perhaps upon 4. My wife will have it at 5, but she clearly has confounded 2 very distinct affairs. The abstract number 5, I'm willing to admit, but concretely it has reference to bottles of brown stout, which, by the way of condiment, Welsh rabbit is to be eschewed. Having thus concluded a frugal meal, I donned my nightcap and went to sleep. It's just the opening story is about a man convincing himself to have, I'll only have 1 bit of rabbit. Now I'll have 2. Well, 3 maybe. I'll go for 4. Oh, my wife wants to get drunk. We'll have 5. It's like, is that... That's how an Edgar Allan Poe story starts. How many pounds of meat? 5. 5 pounds of rabbit. It's just, it just starts off with somebody saying, you shouldn't really have more than 1. We had 5 and got drunk. He has a weird comedy to some of his stories. Did you start this story before dinner? It doesn't really... so far, it hasn't gone on to mention food again at all. It's just a weird opening. Anyway. We're back at the bar. And so, yeah, she's here. Feel free to name her. But also... we have someone else who I have to draw. Linda. You can call her Linda, that's fine. Is this the music that plays in this part of the game? It might be. How do hands work? I also don't really know what you're wearing. You have a weird outfit, I think. Really high collar. This character is just strange. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with them. But hey, they do them. I'll give them like a kind of double-breasted sort of thing. Oh, it's the terrible xylophone song. It is. Who else but... Wait, hang on. Jen. Jen? Jen. Yes, Jen. A good friend with blades on their hands, only they no longer have blades on their hands, at least for now. So yeah, Jen's come to pay Jimmy a visit, because it's been a while. The last time they saw each other, they jumped off a cliff. And they all got horribly injured as a result. So they have a little chat about the times that have passed, how everybody's getting on. And call the lady Jessica. You can try. Yeah, so they talk about, you know, what's been going on in the last couple of years since they jumped off a cliff. Fancy lad? Yeah, I'll describe Jen as a fancy lad. Why not? And start the Jim trend, just continued it. But it was almost going to be Jim, and Jimmy, with one of the Jims having two M's. So luckily we didn't. Oh no, this was it's Jim. No, it's not Jensen. That's the president. I can't remember what it was now. Jen Jimson. Jim. I lose track. So many J's. Yeah, so they have a chat about things. Apparently, Jim, not Jimmy, Jim, the big guy with the anchor. Apparently he didn't do too well in the fall. Got injured on the way down. Now can't speak. But he's doing all right. He's got a job as a janitor somewhere. You know, trying to learn along as one does. Jen's been trying to find Jimmy for a while because they basically wouldn't have expected Jimmy to stay still in a little village in the middle of nowhere, which is where he's been for a while. He's like, well, I'm here keeping all the people here safe. I kill bugs and caterpillars. That's my job, because all of the men of the village went away to war, like we did, because we were soldiers. But since I've been invalided here, I've been looking after the people who looked after me, because that's Jimmy's that kind of guy. Card game song, yeah. But no, Jen is just a nickname, but he's named Jim with two M's, but that would be too confusing. Fair enough. It's a good song. I'll be sad to replace it. Eventually I'll have to. Or will I? Will I stop doing this draw through long before then? This is probably one of the easier ones to replace, because it's just 12-bar blues. That's a good starting point for anything. Yeah, I imagine he's wearing very tight trousers. He seems to be wearing a very skinny fit clothing. That's their big thing. Funnily enough, if anybody in the game I would describe as non-binary, it would be Jen. Support their life choices. I have no issue with it. It confuses the child who is used to the male-female split. I was like, oh, who's this character? Are they male? Are they female? I don't know. Are they male? I don't know. Then as you're older, you're like, cool, good on you. It's nice to have a character who's like, does it matter? So yeah, they have a chat, and Jimmy and Jen go on a little bit of bug hunting. They go around the village and fight some bugs. They find some people in the village who are either actively hostile towards Jimmy because he's an outsider, basically, or who express confusion as to why he's still here. You start to get the impression that he might be here because of, what did we call her? Jessica? because of Jessica and Dishy. He's grown attached to them. They helped him, and he's grown attached to them. And that's why he wants to stick around. But Jen, yes, not Jenny, different character. Jen, you don't make this easy for me, do you? Informs him that there is actually a job going in Timber that might be right up his street, because he always talked about the fact that he wanted to do journalism and travel the world and all that sort of stuff. Apparently in Timber there is a position open for a travel journalist. Which seems absolutely ideal, but that would mean him leaving this village and leaving Jessica and Dishy behind. Thought Jimmy was with No. Did that not work out? They met once, and then he went back to war, and then he jumped off a cliff. He hasn't really had the opportunity to go back yet. He admired her from afar, and then had one chance meeting, and then it was over. Fun fact for those who play this game, this character has nothing to do with your handle. He wasn't thinking of FF when you came up with it. Oh, I guess so. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, so Jen's name in the game is Kairos. But it's Jen here, so it's fine. They're going down and yelling timber. Anyway, and they eventually come back to the pub, and they overhear a conversation between Jessica and Dishy, and Jessica's saying basically to Dishy, look, he's gonna leave at some point. He's the sort of person who doesn't stick. He's, always agitated, always moving on to the next thing, always, an excitable person. He's not gonna stay in a little town like this. And Dishy's like, oh, but I like him. Why is he not staying? Yeah, I like him. You like him too, don't you? And then she blushes, and it turns out she does. But she doesn't want it to be a thing because she knows that he's not the sort of person who's gonna stick around. He's a traveller. He's moving on. Yeah. And that's basically all that happens, I think. Yeah, he's basically we see Jimmy's little life in the village. Wise woman, you say that. Actually, do you? Yeah, kind of. Well, we'll see. But yeah, so he may very well go travelling the world again. He might go back to Timber. He might become the travel writer that he always wanted to be. Or he might stay here. Who knows? We'll find this out. Frame Man, please, stop it. It's not that exciting. Calm down. Yeah. But what will become of Dishy and Jessica and Jen? I don't really know what Jen's up to. Jen's just doing what they do. He wanted to be a travel writer. He did mention that when he was with No. Is there going to be I probably shouldn't mention that yet? No, because that's going to explain things too easily. Can't be having that. Yeah, Jen's just living their best life, and you're here for it. Yeah, I don't really know what Jen goes off. Well, actually, I do know what Jen goes off and does, because we'll see. Do you mean no or no or no no? I mean Norg. We're getting there. Not long now. Yeah, so that all happens, and then we wake up in a prison. Yeah. Oh, it's a Bethesda game. Disc 2 specifically of Final Fantasy VIII is a Bethesda game. I forgot to mention this. A lot of the writing was outsourced. which is why none of the game makes sense. So yeah, guess who wakes up? Whoop. Actually, who does wake up? Because... Okay. Well, like, I guess you don't need... Oh, you don't, yeah, that's... Yeah, fair enough. No, that doesn't make sense. I guess we'll get back to that. Anywho. Who does? Who wakes up?
Hey you, you're finally awake. Got caught in that Imperial ambush like the rest of us.
You're awake. You were dreaming. Here comes the guard. I'm sure they'll let us go. Not when you start mumbling about whether things make sense. Things don't make sense. Rule of thumb. Things do not make sense. I can never remember who has what nose. Anyway, Pikachu wakes up. That much at least we know. And explains, oh yeah, this is the dream again. I think it was Velma, or, yeah, I should explain who's here. There's Velma and Jenny. They're here, and they say, "Oh, was it the tale of Jimmy again?" We need to pretend to be ill so that the guard comes in and checks on us. Spoilers. So, we died, and this is all nonsense. Yes, from this point on, this is all a death-based fever dream. Has his hair gotten taller? It's been a while. Yeah, so they say, you know, how's Jimmy and all that doing? And Pikachu says, I don't know. I was Jim this time. Quite boring, really. Nothing really happened. Just sort of was a janitor for a bit. Yeah, where are we? And they explain that they're in prison because they attempted to assassinate a head of state. As one does. I haven't drawn anything today. I'm gonna keep saying that. I've not drawn anything today, including this. Are you just slowly going to increase its length each part? Sure, why not? I'm going to make the into a little post of you. I haven't drawn anything today. Gen drawing was really good though. I mean, it's a thing. So yeah, they point out that they're in prison. And they don't know where the others are. They're in prison. I've just realised what I've got to draw next. Okay, well, actually, we'll come back to that. Because I have to draw something. I have to go to a slightly different scene now. Yeah, they've had their weapons taken away, and it's all a bad time. How am I gonna? Feet, boots. Have you met? Probably not. I know this one gets struck as well, so shh. Jenny's good. Jenny is a good. Ebenezer good. Yeah, so they're in a prison. It's all made of metal and stuff. Not a pleasant looking place. There's like a big old metal door here. The rooms are circular for reasons which will become apparent later. Sure, why not? This music script really reminds me of a classical piece, and you can't think what it is. It is Bach's Toccata and Fugue. I think the Toccata in particular. The is it Toccata and Fugue? I think so. Can't remember. What are we talking about? Grab the lamp. Here, sweetheart. That's fine. It's a very nice riff. I learned it on the piano. I'm trying to remember how the fugue goes because I'm just thinking of that piece of music now. It's that kind of jumping between a. Usually, when you have a note like that, it's a drone note near the bottom, but they decided to put it on the top, and by they I mean Bach. In the 1600s or whatever. Yeah. So. We're in prison, and they woke up, and it's all a thing. Let's cut to. There's an intermediary scene where Simon wakes up because he's alive apparently and thoroughly unscathed. But you know, that's no fun. So instead. Bach is a very unknown composer. Yeah, there's this cool little indie group called JS Bach. Great, you should listen to them. Absolutely recommend them. Do some banging tunes. You ever heard of a canon? Brilliant. What if Simon rubs it up? Simon is otherwise indisposed at the moment, what with being tied up to a wall. This is what happens when you try to rub the lamp. Right, back to trying to draw this hair. I don't think I've satisfactorily drawn Simon's hair once. But you know, here we are. I was about to say, I don't remember what this piece of music is. What's this piece of music? Oh, it's the ending theme. Okay. That's probably why I don't know it. Who sticks around for the ending, eh? Tiny jacket. Angst. He lives because of too much angst. He cannot die. There is more angst to expel into the world. What was it? No, your nose was just that. Why the long face? Angst. So yeah, this is where the fun bit comes in for all you fan fiction writers out there. Big hands. Simon has big hands. You vote Chief for that position. This is... For Chibi, this is relatively low-hanging fruit. Like, Chibi gets attached to pinches and patches. They're not gonna take something out of the two main characters, are they? Anyway, perspective notwithstanding. The only main character you've ever liked is Noodle the Box. Well, Noodle the Box was also in this position at some point. Unfortunately, Simon is not in his underwear. You might like, if we do Final Fantasy IX, you might like the main character of that. Maybe, maybe not. You'll probably get attached to all of the other characters. They're very different to your typical Final Fantasy main character. That's what I mean. Should have worn a sports bra. I know, would have stopped the ice. Noodle's been tied up several times. Always getting tangled up, that Noodle. Never expected you to get attached to. That is true, anyway. So yeah, a political assassination has just happened. What happens after a political assassination when the, well, an attempted assassination. What happens once one of those has failed and the people who attempted it are captured? Why? An interrogation. And who better to perform the interrogation than the sorceress's personal knight? And the person who was closest to the would-be assassins. And who has the biggest flowing coat. It's Kyle! Oh yeah! See what I mean about fanfiction? You thought he'd gone, you thought he died, but no, he's back in the story. Look, he's not just tied to a wall, these are electrified, I'll have you know. Because he's asking him questions, he's asking him things like, what's the real meaning of seed? Remember back with that's the the thing we did the exam for, and Kyle wasn't one because he failed. Yeah, exactly. And he said, what's the real meaning of seed? The sorceress knows that there's something behind all this, and you're going to tell me what it is. And Simon accurately says, I have no idea what you're talking about. So it's one of those classic cases where an interrogator... Oh, hang on, sorry. Where the interrogator is desperately trying to get information out of somebody who does not have it. But Kyle is under the belief that everybody who passes the exam is suddenly privy to this secret information that he was not privy to. And he must know, because the sorceress must know. How do heads work? You don't find my questions too shocking. The sorceress TM wants to know the true meaning of seed, wink wonk. Indeed. More like TMI, am I right? So yeah, a bunch of electrocution happens and Simon eventually falls unconscious. Because that is the thing. We are then introduced to some things, which I will now draw, not in this scene, but back in the cell. Just give me a sec to finish this up. You know something! Switching over the accurate retaliation. You overestimate me. Don't forget the tiny vest, absolutely. It shrank in the wash, but don't worry about it. Oh, I always do that. Ooh. Spooky noises. Does Guy wear a shirt under his coat? Remembering right that he doesn't, or is it just horny art? I feel like it's just the tiny waistcoat. Hang on. Yeah, no, it's just a tiny waistcoat. Although he does have his trousers pulled up high enough that they are underneath the waistcoat. But yeah, no, you can definitely see his pecs. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. If he wears a shirt, you've been deceived. Exactly. He also has a necklace. I forgot about that. I say necklace, probably dog tags. He's a soldier. But he's a student soldier. Well, now he's a knight. Right, anyway, back to the cell. We return to the cell, where... Quick reminder that this game is called Final Fantasy VIII. Which thus implies that it is a fantasy game. Did you draw him? And the art that made you think he's shirtless. Internet, how you doing? You do your job. Yeah, you do it well. Let's be bigger. I think it's... I want to look more sort of tiger-like than rabbit-like, but it's difficult. Anyway, somebody comes in to give us our food. And by somebody, I mean something. Does it have a... Yeah, it does. Of course it does. It's not absolutely terrible. I think you get the idea. This big, orange, fluffy friend. It's more sort of like deliberately just like explosion head. I think that's closer. Feels more accurate. Puppy, it's a... Well, I guess you don't get to name races in this. So this is it a Moomba? Is that the name of it? I think it might be called a Moomba. Which in and of itself doesn't make sense, but we'll get to that. Roomba. It's not a Roomba. It's a Moomba. Where is that? Alright, the sleepy eyes. And they're not that big. Anyway, this friend comes in and falls over. They trip over their own massive feet. It's a Moomba. Oh, it's the weird music again. Is it me or is it loud? Oh, my ears are slightly down. Right, so yeah, it comes in, tries to give us our food, but falls over, and all the food falls on the floor. It's at this point, for the purposes of, well... Is Cherry supposed to be? Cherry's not supposed to be here, is she? No, she's not. Yeah, like that. More like that. I wasn't that far off, was I? I get the idea. Nailed it. Absolutely fine. Yeah, it falls. It comes in and it falls over. Jerry might have supposed to have been here and went away, but that doesn't make sense. How does that make sense? No, that doesn't make sense because of a thing that happens later. I don't know. Right. So. There's not. I won't draw this. Okay, so the Mumba comes in and trips over, drops everything on the floor. A prison guard comes in, hearing the commotion, and goes, "What's going on in here?" "Oh, you bloody stupid thing!" And then pulls out a stick and starts beating it. Our team naturally get up to defend it, and then a bunch of police officers run in, and we realise, oh yeah, we're in prison. We can't really fight. So they start then beating Pikachu up for reasons. And yeah, basically we were all a bit downtrodden after that. But the Mumba stays in, and we. Oh, doesn't the Mumba like help heal Pikachu? This might have all happened before the interrogation. I can't remember the order in which things happen. Either way, we make friends with the Mumba. We help it. It helps us. It's a good thing. Good friend. We sit around having a conversation for a while, just thinking, if only we'd done something to that guard. We'd shown them a piece of our mind. And God, if only we'd had our weapons on hand. And it takes Pikachu about, although to be fair, he's the one who actually works it out. The others don't. It takes Pikachu a while to work out that he punches things for a living. That's his weapon. He doesn't need a weapon. He has fists. So he finally realizes, do you know what? I can do that. I can punch people, can't I? Again, like for ages, I thought, oh god, Pikachu is so stupid. It took him ages to work that out. I've just realized Velma and Jenny, they didn't work that out. At least Pikachu did. So yeah, so Pikachu and Mumba friend go on a little adventure running around the... Oh no, hang on, before that happens, they do the classic, okay, everyone lay down on the floor and pretend to be ill, and then I'm gonna bang on the door and pretend that people are ill because the food was bad, and then the guards come in, and then Pikachu punches him in the nuts. Which is satisfying. And he keels over and falls unconscious. So then, there's going to be a lot of things I'm going to tell you happen here that I'm not going to draw, because there's a lot of backing and forthing in this part of the game. They actually do that. It happens. It happens. They all lay on the floor, pretend to be unconscious, and Zell punches him in the nuts. So Zell then goes off. Zell. Pikachu. It's not often I mess up. I usually just pause and go, what was their name? Pikachu and Mumba friend go off on an adventure through the prison, trying to find their weapons. It's literally on the floor below them. Make sure you go down, or is it up? It's one of the two. Make sure you go the right way, because otherwise you're going to be going down/up floors for a long time before you realise you went the wrong way. And the game does not tell you. This prison has a lot of floors. It is a very tall prison. Remember that. So, oh yeah. The other reason Pikachu does this, apart from the fact that he's the one with fists, is that he remembers that Jim, his janitor job, coincidentally enough, was in this prison. And as a consequence, Pikachu having dreams from the perspective of Jim, Pikachu now knows the layout of this building. So that's nice. Forgot to mention that. That's scary because that Pikachu has 4 arms. Yeah, so Pikachu, having seen Jim do his janitorial job in this prison, It's convenient. Oh yeah, there's going to be a lot of that. It knows where to go. I almost completely forgot to mention that. It's the only reason I brought up the fact he had a janitor job. It's because the game makes a thing of it. But also he can punch, so you know. So he goes and he finds the weapons. He beats up a few guards, gets the weapons. The guards are resolutely Galbadian guards with the helmets with the little 3 dots on the front. So this is definitely a Galbadian prison. We know that. And Pikachu returns with the nunchucks and the whips and all that sort of stuff. And then there's this weird thing where everybody grows in size for no particular reason, just to demonstrate that they have their weapons back. It always freaked me out as a kid. They just expand on the screen, do a little animation, and then expand back down, which is the only kind of, like, non-diegetic thing that happens in the game. It only happens once. I don't know, everything else is done as if a camera is pointing in a real world. That isn't. They have weapons now. They can rub the lamp if they want. They can theoretically. But you would have to take a vote on it. I am not taking responsibility for the actions of you lot. You vote lamp run good. Man car door hook hand car door. It's just lamp. 2 to 1. Miss, are you gonna? You vote no lamp. Okay. In the event of a draw, we're gonna continue with the status quo. So, you have to get more people on your side, Duck. Begin your campaign. So yeah, you get the punchy stuff and the nunchucks and the whips. And you get ready to prison break. Oh yeah, prison break time. Gotta find our friends. A lot of stuff happens in this cell. Crow, get in here and incite chaos. Crow would probably want to throw it away just for the purposes of chaos. You can sell it. You don't have to use it. It sells for 1 gold. Or 1 gil, I should say. Which stands for gold in... I cannot think of a word meaning money that begins with L. Gold, it literally. Gold is literally. That's, yeah. Is it Gil or Jill? That was the original one, wasn't it? People always going on about GIF and GIF. Is it Gil or Jill? First one? I think so too. Anywho, so that's the currency in a Final Fantasy game, by the way. G-I-L. In this Drawthrough, it's Jill, definitely, yes. But in the original games. Yeah, so, having heard that there were some unruly prisoners, a couple of the guards decided to pop in and see what was going on, see if they couldn't sort things out, you know. Their weird helmets, which are just ripped straight from Final Fantasy VII. I don't know why. Never really heard anybody talk about that. That's a big old thing, chunky finger. Look at that. Not gonna lie, this Drawthrough has been making you kind of want to replay FF8. It's time. I wouldn't say don't. Put it that way. I replayed it recently. There's a randomizer if you want to have a crack at that. Like a boss randomizer and stuff. It can be a bugger if you get a very hard boss very early on. Multiverse, same ideas bleeding into each other, true. There is a character called Shinra in Final Fantasy X. It all connects. Or is, you know, fan service. It's just Easter eggs. They never had a own copy for PS1, which is why you only played it once. You borrowed the game from someone else back then, but now it's available pretty much everywhere. I have 2 copies. Both of which probably are scratched to high heaven. This was back in the days of CD games, where you had your copy and that was it. If it got scratched, it got scratched. Funnily enough, we are coming up to a moment where the disc got so scratched it would not pass a cutscene. So yeah, I was kind of stuck on this bit for a while. Also, I used to do the cutscene wrong. Let's see, I want to do a survey when we get to that bit, just to see whether or not I'm an idiot. Because I'm going to try and draw it as accurately as I can, and see what you guys would do in the event of the thing that happens happening. How do you do a cutscene wrong? You have one element of control. It's a bit like a what's it called? A QuickTime event, sort of. Got that for disc 4 of FF7, and it broke just before going into Sephiroth. Fine. I think I have 2 copies of FF7 again for that reason. Actually, was it until I have 2.9? I can see it from here. No, I've got 2 7s, 2 8s, and 1 9, apparently. Although I'll be very surprised if that 9 works. Luckily, we used to have a thing in Britain called the used game bin. Or the... I used to buy all my games from there. Like £3. I remember when I was a kid, used to have the PlayStation 1, and Final Fantasy VII was like the first game I probably sort of played on it. After I eventually got my head around the controls, because oh no, it's not X to go, it's O to go. No, I don't like that. No, I stopped playing for that reason. But yeah, for ages, I was like, oh yeah, Final Fantasy VII is great, and kid brain never puts 2 and 2 together and realises that it's probably the 7th in a series, and that there might be more. And one day we were out, I think we were just visiting a town somewhere, and we went into a game shop or whatever, and I saw her in the bin. I saw, oh, it's Final Fantasy VII. Wait, hang on, that's not 7. That's not VII. That's VIII. What? There's another one. And I didn't have enough pocket money to buy it. And I was like, oh no, I've missed out on the game forever. I will never see it again. And I just remember that feeling of almost never playing Final Fantasy VIII. And part of me wishes I never did. No, that's not true. Legend of Dragoon. Oh dear. Fourth in America? What? Who? What? Oh, 7, yeah, because, yeah, America did miss on some Final Fantasy. So Final Fantasy 6 over there is 3? I think 7 was still 7. So they just missed out on all the games in between. Yeah, I did have 7 on PC first, because you didn't get a PS1 till later, but yeah, I think the second disc got pretty scratched up after a while, couldn't play it anymore. I hear the PC version wasn't a great port either, so apparently you had quite bad music and things like that. But you got to play the game, that's the important. When you're a kid, it doesn't really, you know, you're not comparing ports and things like that. Oh, how do anatomy? Sorry, I just realised something is going to happen in a minute. Every now and then I just think ahead and go, Anyway, in case you hadn't observed, the guards who happen to enter our cell are Grumpy and Wide. They're here. Because it turns out they got demoted after being beaten to a pulp on top of a radio tower. Or at the very least, Grumpy did. Can't remember which one's which. Which one was which? I think this one was Wide and this one was Grumpy. Anyway, Grumpy got demoted and is now doing prison duty. Remember these guys? We fought them on top of a radio tower and they got attacked by a dragon. You had FF2, which was really FF4, and FF3, which is really FF6. Both very good games. But you missed out on 5, which is my favourite. Favourite 2D one. Unpopular opinion, but there we are. Then DS ports with the right names later on. Wonderful. You had none of these experiences, and that's why you get to enjoy the Drawthroughs untainted. Since playing Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing's a good time. So yeah, Grumpy and Wide show up. Hi Grumpy and Wide, how you doing? And they recognise us and they get angry and they're like, ah, brilliant, we have the opportunity to beat the crap out of you because you are in prison and unarmed. And then we stand up with our weapons and they go, oh, well, isn't that a doozy? And then we have a fight and we beat them up. And I believe Grumpy's last words at the end of that fight are, I can't remember what if he gets demoted from a sergeant to a corporal, he's like, oh, what ranks below corporal? And then he faints. Poor guy. He's just trying to do his job. That's why it's your goal to make Drawthroughs impossible to understand because of names. If I didn't have this experience as a child, then no one's going to have this experience. You're now looking at emulators for Legend of Dragoon. I'm always terrified to download emulations and stuff. But I would like to do a Nuzlocke on stream at some point. Anyway. Yeah, so we have a little fight with Wide and Grumpy. And we make our way out of the prison. What order do things happen now? Okay, as we make our way out of the prison. Hello Anoobs, how you doing? Welcome to this. I'll very quickly go over what happened. There's only 5 things I've drawn. Jimmy woke up in a gun shop place and a little girl called Dishy said hello and told him to go next door to the pub because a friend's there. Friends turns out to be Jen and Jessica, who operates the bar and is also the mother of Dishy, chastises her for going out in a dangerous place. They have a chat. Turns out that they haven't seen each other since they jumped off a cliff that time. Jimmy and Jen chat about the old times. Apparently Jim is now working as a janitor someplace, and Jimmy has been in a village this whole time, having been nursed back to health by the people who were here. And he's here looking after them, but he's getting a bit restless and he might possibly leave for the purposes of getting a travel job. We then wake up in a prison because we attempted to kill somebody. it takes us a while to realise that while our weapons have been taken away, one of our characters can punch things to death. Meanwhile, Simon is getting electrocuted by Kyle because Kyle thinks that there is something behind Seed. Insert fanfiction. We then return back to here where a Moomba comes in. This is a Moomba. To give us our food. It falls over. It gets beaten up by some police guard. We get beaten up by those police guard for trying to defend the Moomba. We befriend the Moomba. We then realise that we can beat up guards with fists. We get out. We get our weapons. Grumpy Jesse and White Jesse come back. Hi, how you doing? And then we beat them up. And that's where we are. Oh, and Dark keeps trying to touch the lamp. So that's what's happened. Yeah, we're currently at 2-2 for rubbing or not rubbing the lamp. Yeah, so, okay, so we make our way... what's the lamp? It's a lamp. It's called a magical lamp. It was given to us by our headmaster, and he didn't say what it does. Oh yeah, and Dark has 3 mini-briefs now. Because of exposure to the lamp. Yeah, Dark's the only person who's actually sure here what rubbing the lamp does, apart from me, obviously. Worked for Aladdin. Yeah, I remember that at the end of that film. Yeah, so we make our way downtown. Oh, the janitor job that Jim got. The janitor job Jim's janitor job happened to take place inside this prison, so we know where to go. Because dreams and coincidences. Like you needed Jafar, who was scary as a kid. He was scary. That whole end sequence was good with the snakes and the patterns, and it was weird. Lots of fire. Well animated. So yeah, we make our way to the top of the prison. Do we go to the top? We do make our way to the top, because apparently at the top is where all the interrogation cells are, and also the controls for the lift that's in the middle of the circular prison structure. So yeah, we make our way to the top, and we find an unconscious Simon. Turns out, in this interrogation scenario, Simon says nothing. Haha, jokes. But what we also find in here is confusing. I imagine they got spiky teeth. Oh, these friends can talk, by the way. They can talk about as well as non-binarity member number 2 can. I.e. monosyllabically. So what we find in a slightly creepy turn is Simon up on a wall, unconscious, in a room full of Mumba friends, all looking up at him. And what do you think they're all saying? Because they're all shouting in unison. We're not going to do another hangman situation, don't worry. Mufasa, angst, cheer up, dinner. These are all good. I imagine these have like quite squeaky voices.
Angst. Angst. Angst.
Your beatboxing skills need a little bit of work there, Hazel, but good try. No, they're all to a Mumba shouting Jimmy. This rather perplexes the onlookers. For this is not Jimmy. This is what made me laugh earlier. I was like, I have to draw a room full of Mumbas shouting Jimmy. Yes, that's the thing that happens. This is worth all the naming nonsense, absolutely. They're wearing CU Jimmy hats? Maybe. There's a lot of fluff there. Might be in there somewhere. Yeah, this is a little bit weird. Do you see why people might start thinking that this is the point that the death fever dream kicks in? Anyway. So... yeah, so we save Simon with the help of the Mumba friends. I guess they're staff here? Slaves? I don't know. And we get out and we're like, right, let's get to the bottom of this. Literally, let's get to the bottom of the... let's get down at the bottom of the prison because we're at the top at the moment. There's a lift. That's great. Let's take the lift. Unfortunately, somebody needs to operate the lift. So Pikachu stays behind to operate the lift because Pikachu knows how the controls work. So yeah. So they make their way down. Simon, now awake, goes down with Velma and Jenny to the bottom of the prison where they intend to make their escape. Simon is now as alert as he ever was. Shorthand, I've got some stuff to do. So yeah, there is an explanation as to why they're shouting Jimmy, but we can't get to that yet. Then we're going to question the Jimmy shouting, how that relates to Jimmy, Jim, and Jin. No? Okay. Yeah, because, I mean, they're not here. And I'll give you a clue. It has absolutely nothing to do with the dreams that they're having. There you go. Complete coincidence. How? Simon's like, okay, things can go alright now. Yeah, things can happen, can make sense now that we're gonna get out of the prison. To which the answer is unfortunately no, because they opened the door at the bottom of the prison. And it's just full of sand. So yeah, it turns out, can't leave through the bottom. So they decide to make their way back up. For reasons I can't remember, they can't take the lift. This bit's really, like, clearly the game designers wanted certain characters to be in certain places at certain times, and the reasoning they give for it is vague. So we decide to work our way all the way back up the stairs. And by we, I mean Simon, Velma, and Jenny. Unfortunately, halfway through, we are bombarded by a barrage of gunfire, from which we cannot escape because we only have nunchucks, a whip, and a pistol with a gun attached to it, which probably severely affects the aim, or at least the ability to aim. You try holding a pistol is heavy enough. Have it stick a sword on the end of it. No wonder the Space Potatoes never had a gunblade user before. Wait, what happened to McCree? But then, just in the nick of time, McCree shows up. Oh yes, I'm not going to draw this. Well, actually, I am going to draw this because he falls down the stairs. So yeah, just as everybody's cowering behind cover, McCree and Cheery both turn up. They just infiltrate a prison, because that's what happens. That answers that question. Yeah, we needed an entrance. So yeah, I think I was thinking about this a little bit earlier. I think the logic here is that McCree was still up on the building, and as was Cheery, so they were far enough away from the situation that they didn't get arrested. Because Simon ran in, obviously, and all the other team Apology were up in the control room of the gate, so they were right nearby. So everybody who was close got arrested, and everyone else was not. And that makes sense, right up until the bit where you remember that Cheery and McCree join in the fight with TM. So that doesn't make any sense anymore. In terms of the things that happen in the plot, yeah, I guess that makes sense. But in terms of the things that actually happen in the game, no, not really. So yeah, McCree tries to make a cool entrance and Cheery pushes him down the stairs. That's basically what happens here. Because he's trying to look all cocky. And she's like, we're trying to save friends. Stop it. This is a shotgun rifle. Because who knows what it actually is. You're certainly not going to learn from my drawings, that's for sure. But yeah, basically, despite not being arrested, they still managed to make their way here, and largely from Cheery. Cheery was like, look, I kind of screwed all this up. We should probably go and help these people who helped me. Kind of. Did they help her? I don't know. She might have a thing for Simon. As you've learned much from my art. Like, always trust a man who flirts with everybody and wears a waste paper basket on their head. Why has he got that on his head? I can't remember. Why? Good question. Because, game. Plot? Plot. I think it's plot. Because Phthos Lusek, Vikos Winosek. That's why. Yes, YouTube, I'm still here. Calm your face. Am I gonna have time? Anyway, he's here to save the day. By which I mean join us to work our way back up to the top. So we've all gone back up to the top, I think. Or did some people go down? I've lost track of who's doing what. Anyway, let's just say everyone's gone back to the top. It really doesn't matter that much. And we make our way to the top and we fight a few things. We fight some robots. We fight some... It's not a boss, technically. I don't think it's a boss. Is it a boss? It's not a boss for the purposes of the fact that I have to explain what's just about what this prison is. But we get our way to the top and we find that there is a gantry between two buildings. And we decide to walk across that gantry. In walking across the gantry, we realise that the prison is a bit of an odd shape. So the prison is now even more reminiscent of the end of Aladdin. They're supposed to be like sort of, I guess they're kind of dome-like, sort of, just a bit more cylindrical than domey. There's like 3 big old towers, each of which has attached to the bottom a massive drill. Prince Ali, yes, it is here, not as you know him. Good soundtrack. And we are just in this massive old cracked desert in a prison that can submerge itself by drilling into the ground. We're here, by the way. This is a big old building. Seems like a very inconvenient prison. Welcome to reason 2 why people think that this is the point where it all becomes a death-based fever dream. I mean, we did come from a space potato, but still. Love the villain songs. I also liked the Genie's song, first song. But then again, it's Robin Williams. What are you going to do? It's going to be good. So yeah, it's at this point that the prison decides to start submerging while we're on the outside of it, in between 2 of the things. Oh no! This isn't action music. It's mine, but it's not action music. Let's put the action music on. Where's those flutes? There we go. As a problem, why? We're outside. I mean, if you're on the top deck of the Titanic, are you fine? Like, there's gonna be a lot of shifting sand underneath you. And now I get to draw what I was gonna draw. So here. Oh, also, for reasons, this pathway between the things, it's slatted with bits of metal. All of those bits of metal just retract as part of the thing, so it just turns into like a couple of little rails heading between the... I don't know why. So what happens? So we get a bit stuck. Hang on. Probably not going to draw this in the right sort of perspective, but... Stop talking about things that I don't know. Anyway, so this is all going down here. Sand is billowing up everywhere. It's all horrible times. Because this is on its way down. We were running this way. The floor retracted that way, so we ran that way to get away from the floor. This is now plummeting down into a big old sand vortex. Here. Pop quiz. Which way would you go? Would you go that way, or would you go that way? Magic lamp for my way up right now. I mean, maybe, maybe not. Unfortunately, your hands are otherwise occupied. Which way did we come from? Came from that way. Also, this doesn't make an awful lot of sense. Because after this, we're about to come out of the bottom. You probably lose your grip and fall, that's fair. This, by the way, was the cutscene where my disc used to skip, and I had to watch the cutscene quite a few times, just hopefully to get through it. And then I discovered that through the lag, I was going the wrong way. What do you mean you come out the bomb? I don't know. Reasons behind this game. Shush. Your copyrighted music. You're not mine. How is... Look, I don't think we might not do. But we come out of a car, out of a door that looks suspiciously like the one that we opened that was full of sand. That's why the door was full of sand, by the way. You can theoretically bring the prison all the way up and then you can get out that door. Don't know why they don't have any fail-safes for not opening the door when it's underground, but there we are. No wonder this is a death dream. Anyway.
Sigh.
Sigh indeed. Anyway, the objective here is you do actually have to go that way. But I always thought, look, this is dangerous, and we were safe back there. Let's go that way. And then you get game over if you do that. And then you have to do most of the prison section again. Actually, do you? Maybe. You have to do at least a fight. Anyway, the fight with the robots. But yeah, it just always confused me that the big dangerous thing that's causing you the problems in the first place is the thing you have to go towards? I don't know why. We literally ran backwards before this. We walked across here, then the floor started falling apart, then we ran that way, and now we've got to go that way again. It's a confusing cutscene. Let me just say. Anyway, we survive. We get back into the prison, and then we find a couple of cars and drive out. And that is where we will pick up next time. Actually, no, we don't do that. We're still hanging on the bars, because cliffhanger. Ah, exciting times. Nah, we'll be fine. Yeah, so the proper dreams of a dying anime protagonist have begun. Hopefully you enjoy the Moombas and the Jimmy shouting, and next time, Lamp. Yeah, it's up to you. Collective you. It's up to y'all. It's up to you, not thou. Can't die when you're already dead in a fever dream, luckily. Is that a lucky thing? It sounds like an unfortunate thing. You can never die now. You're in this fever dream until the end. No lamp, but lamp. Sell lamp for 1 Jill. That's fair. You nearly managed to finish your Christmas card design while you were streaming. Yeah, good times. I said I was going to do Christmas cards this year, and I didn't. Aren't I a good business boy? No, that's the answer. Thank you for coming to the stream. Hope you had a good time. Tomorrow, we are going to do some more eggheading. We'll probably move on to the next map. Still have time, not really, to get them all printed and then sent off and stuff. Also, the plan was to make them and then sell them. And that's too late now. But Lamp. Oh, Lamp isn't here. Yeah. More hit. Oh, hey, King Fader, how you doing? Yes, so more Hitman tomorrow. I'm enjoying it. I was playing a bit just before the stream, actually. Doing the escalation. That's a thing. Yeah, so we'll probably start a new one. tomorrow. That makes, yeah. We can do like 2 streams. We can do the panicked, I have no idea where I'm going stream for each mission on a Wednesday, and then on a Saturday we can do some more. Okay, I think I know what I'm doing now. Stuff. It's Kick Vader. Nice tricks you taught Kyle. You know, what's the point of learning these things if you can't pass them on, eh? So, yes. What's going to happen next time? Next time, explosions and cheese. There you go. There's your preview for the next Final Fantasy VIII Drawthrough. Explosions and cheese. Cheese.
I lament that my love for my lamp is being denied.
Ah, well. You can take it out on them later in the form of RPG GMing. Cheese, Grommet. Cheese, yes. Unfortunately, it's not the moon that's made of cheese. But it is something that will be turned into cheese. And possibly, if we have time, a thing made of cheese. Possibly, a Norg. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Some were lactose intolerant. There's a lot of intolerance that's going to happen. We'll see. Well, we probably won't get to the cheese. Cheese might have to wait till the time after that. Boo for lactose intolerant. Boo for bodies being horrible. And not just lactose intolerant. All the other stuff. It's not fair. You would die if you couldn't eat cheese. A decent amount of my diet is cheese. But probably more of it is wheat. And clearly I don't have a gluten intolerance. My diet is mostly wheat and dairy. And fiber. Always have fiber. Fiber's important. It's important because your body cannot digest it. Might seem like a waste of time, but you don't want to know the alternative. Wary. Be wary of my diet. I love the fact you corrected the spelling of that. Oh no, my portmanteau was not entirely accurate. I mean, it's still accurate. It's the W from wheat and the airy from dairy. Wary, quite contrary. How does your digestive system work? You ruined your own joke. You did no such thing. The joke works. Yeah. Almumbas as well. Remember them. They're going to become oddly important for the connecting of elements in this story. Yeah. It's entirely possible I may never draw one again, but I feel like I should, just to explain stuff. Hashtag cell lamp. Oh no. Or is that hashtag SE3 amp? These things happen. I just looked up at my bot and it's user Feet joined. Hello Feet. How you doing? We were just talking about cheese. So unfortunately it's the end of the stream. Thank you everyone for coming along. Hope you have a grand old time. Have a great week. I'll be back tomorrow for some Hitman, for some technologically impaired Hitman. Remember, never have more than 1 pound of rabbit meat. Be kind to your mumbas, and kick sexual predators down the stairs. Have a great week. See you around. Bye.